Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Crypto Report. I am Crypto Kip, and this is a Tuesday, May 13th. Things are looking pretty good. A lot of altcoins have surged up over the last month. Bitcoin's roaring, and probably the most exciting thing, which maybe not for some, but I think it's very exciting, is that Ethereum is boosting up. When Ethereum gets these moves that you're seeing right now, it is a sign, in my opinion, in the history of crypto, from what I've experienced, that when Ethereum boosts up like this, you typically start to see a broader crypto market rally, specifically for altcoins. Bitcoin can continue this climb, but when Ethereum starts ripping like this, it shows strength for altcoins in general versus Bitcoin. Of the top 10 crypto coins in existence right now, you will see that actually Ethereum is number one performer over the last 7 days, up 46% to 2,500. Still quite a bit off of its previous highs, which we saw all the way in 2021, all the way up to 4,600. This was a brutal sell-off. We saw all the way down to 1,600 bones, and we are on our way back up to the highs from 2021. I think that we're going to get there, and I think we're going to go higher, but it's still not at the highs. And if you do compare that to Bitcoin, there's a reason they say Bitcoin is king, folks. Hold up. Let me fix this. Boom. Got it. Okay, let's share the screen again. There it is. So if you look at, Bitcoin, you'll see that, look at this. It's like way up past it's above its previous highs. In fact, it's been above its previous highs for the past 200 days, okay? Ethereum has not been. But now that Ethereum is rallying, you see Bitcoin dominance starting to fall, which is great for altcoins in general. Can we still see Bitcoin dominance come up to these levels? Yeah, we can. We can easily see Bitcoin dominance continue to have a big run to the upside. But it's really hard to say at this point. And I don't care if Bitcoin dominance crumbles here or if it crumbles there. At some point, I just want Bitcoin dominance to crumble because I want to see some altcoins rally. And we have seen that. Look at XRP, by the way, and I told you guys this. Don't be surprised if XRP, when it breaks through this blue trend line, breaks up, comes back down, and a bullish retest, that would have been your zone for a long entry, which is exactly what I told you guys. We're making good money trading right now. Black C's been showing you guys a lot of his trades. I plan on showing you some more of my trades again. Looking at Blowfin, though, this is the place where we do our trading up to a $5,000 deposit bonus. You need to sign up. But you do have to be careful, guys, because just as there was $835 million worth of shorts that were squeezed that brought Bitcoin from the high 70s to, back above 100K, really, yesterday, we actually had 476, almost $500 million liquidated from the longs. Because here's what happens, guys. People take a look at the price of Bitcoin and they see that it has this big, giant stretch of green candles. And then they go, I don't want to open up a long here. I don't want to open up a long here. I don't want to open up a long. And they wait all the way. They wait all the way until right here to open up a long. You know what happens? When you open up a long after all the giant green candles, there is a wick, a retest, a little bit of a scam wick to the downside to liquidate all those greedy long positions. And things just come back down, find a new floor. We came back down to 100.7, and now we're rallying back up big right now, actually. Bitcoin is pumping right now. And the big reason I think we're having this big pump right now is because the tariff thing. Okay, guys? Now that we are seeing the headlines come out that the U.S.-China tariffs, the problems could be getting solved here. All of a sudden, that brings optimism to the markets because once these tariffs are resolved, there's a couple things that kind of follow in suit in terms of the narrative. Once you hear a narrative that all of a sudden, tariffs might be getting resolved, then you kind of get these stories start to come out, which is fantastic. Fed officials say China-U.S. tariff reprieve lowers risks. Lowers risks of what? Of inflation. What do lower risks of inflation mean for crypto? Well, it means that if there's lower risk of inflation, the Fed can be more dovish, meaning the Fed could then potentially start to lower the federal interest rate. Once we get a lowering of the federal interest rate, that would be a catalyst for the risk on asset rally. That's why Ethereum is pumping today, in my opinion. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's the same reason that I think a lot of people started to open up some long positions. Breaking news, China-U.S. tariff relations improved. So everybody what? Opens up a long. What then happens? Boom, liquidations occur. Then all of a sudden you do get some liquidations that occurred. And, guys, that's the nature of crypto. That's why you need to set your stop losses, be prepared for anything in this crypto market, and know that, you can make money on these moves. And right now we are moving back to the upside. So you want to trade, you could sign up there. So many good things are going on in the crypto industry right now. Let's take a look. Well, first, let's take a look at some top gainers, top losers on the day. Okay, let's see what our big movers are today, what our big losers are today. Meme coins, Brett, SPX, 6,900. Pudgy Penguins moving up. Pepe, a big mover right now. Caspa getting a good comeback. Radium, which is a Solana protocol, getting a nice boost up today. Pi is still looking very strong, up 100% in the last 7 days, which is incredible. It's an $8 billion market cap. That's incredible. And then you do have Ethereum, which is still very strong over some of the top gainers. Top losers, what do we have? Hbar having a just little 2% dip today. Generally, not a lot of big losers today. Dexy, kind of one of the biggest losers here. I don't know much about this. This has never been a focus of mine. I focus on the things that are getting people's excitement, things that are actually being utilized, things that you actually have venture capital in a big way interested in, things that are going to get ETFs, right? Things surrounding things that could get ETFs. Hbar could potentially have an ETF at some point in the future. Why? I think because it is a US-based crypto, and there seems to be some favor in this country with this new administration for these US-based cryptos, like XLM being a also big winner, I think, in this bull market. Algorand as well. So these are some of the things to kind of keep in mind. Now, these are some big losers today, but this is just a day. And keep in mind, even though Hbar is down a little bit today, it's up 23% over the last 7 days. It's incredible. XLM up 22% over the last 7 days, down 2% today. No big deal. A lot of very positive things are happening in the crypto industry. Robinhood is now set to acquire Canada's WonderFi for a $179 million deal in a global crypto push. There's no secret that Robinhood is very much interested in the crypto business. It's been a big part of what they've done lately. You can see that they have increased the ability for users to buy more coins on their platform, listing Pepe, and I think they listed like Mudang and a bunch of these memes recently, right before we kind of had this crypto lull. They, in some point from this bear market to where we're at today, they even enabled people to do crypto transfers. So now not only can you buy crypto on the Robinhood app, but you can also send crypto to and from for almost all the coins, I believe, which is a huge thing. So there's no doubt they're taking their crypto business seriously, and for very good reason, which I'll get to in a second. But brokerage fintech Robinhood set to acquire WonderFi, a Canadian crypto firm, for about 250 million Canadian dollars. That's 179 million in US dollars. It's an all cash deal, rich in cash. Why? Because they operate two of Canada's longest standing regulated crypto trading platforms, BitBuy and CoinSquare, managing over 2.1 billion Canadian dollars in assets under custody. These platforms offer crypto trading, staking, and custody services. So, what are they trying to do? Just expand, do acquisitions. This is something that we've seen crypto.com do very, very well as a company. In fact, looking at some new news, I believe we saw some other news come out about crypto.com. Bing, bop, bop, there you go. Crypto.com Also having a big move today, partnering with Dubai Finance in a world's first agreement to enable government-wide implementation of payments digitization. So crypto payments for the government of Dubai. It's a definite crypto capital. These are very big things. But crypto.com has done so many things like this, and we're seeing Robinhood do it as well. These two players, crypto.com and Robinhood, they want to compete in stocks. They want to compete in gamifying investing. They want to compete in getting the most users and having the most acquisitions and being a successful, not just crypto company, but banking, credit cards, all these different things. This is what all the big brands are doing. This is what all the big crypto brands, I think, that are going to be the biggest presence are doing, not just being crypto, but getting into banking, getting into all these other things. Robinhood was kind of first to that. Crypto.com's kind of bringing those other things in after the fact, and they're kind of meeting in the middle, right? Robinhood started with stocks for the people. Crypto.com started with cryptos for the people, and now it's kind of becoming, and you can do banking service. Oh, and you can do crypto, and they're kind of figuring out how to compete with each other, coming from different spaces, but kind of ending up in the middle of trying to offer everything, which is also what we've seen from Elon Musk and X. And man, that's going to be some competition for everybody. I think Elon Musk going to be pushing X as an everything app at some point. We still haven't seen it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some headlines in 2025 and 2026. X and Elon Musk acquires this, that, the other for some kind of crypto entity. So I'm going to keep an eye out for that. And you do already see the president getting entangled into the crypto world. Elon Musk, certainly a friend of the president, also naming his government agency, Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, which is insane and awesome and hilarious and controversial. Top buyers of the Trump-sponsored crypto win officially the exclusive dinner with the president. That's coming up. This has gotten so much negative press because, what if some foreign adversaries buy the coin and then they get a meeting with the president, and then now there's some conflict of interest with the president and whoever's sitting at the table. These are all questions that are legitimate, but they're happening, and they're happening nonstop. And so, the president kind of brought all these questions and these problems on himself by just launching a meme coin in the first place, but then doubling down on it, saying and if you're a 200 in top 20, 220, if you're number 220, you're going to come to my dinner. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. We're going to have a beautiful Bitcoin dinner, Bitcoin crypto dinner. You're going to like it. It's going to be the best. Nobody's ever had a dinner for these meme coin holders, and we like memes. We like them a lot. We like them a lot. We do. We're going to make memes great again. I think he said all that. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. This is an interesting world we're living in. This headline just keeps making its way to the top. Maybe a problem for the crypto industry as a whole, but it's not holding the crypto industry back from making some big moves. You see Robinhood with their giant acquisition. You see Coinbase joining the S&P 500 just days after Bitcoin broke back above $100,000. I love Brian Armstrong's haircut. It's so good. What style, what grace for that bald man, right? I own some Coinbase stock, and I'm very excited to see that Coinbase is joining the S&P 500. Coinbase is a top crypto company. They have the ear of the administration. They partnered with Circle to launch the USDC stablecoin, a stablecoin which is very much acknowledged by the U.S. government as a key stablecoin in this crypto market. They are working with the CFTC along with crypto.com, XRP, Ripple, and I think those are and Circle to come up with what the stablecoin regulations are going to be here in the US. That bill that we're all waiting on that is getting kind of opposed in the Senate, and we're kind of seeing some negotiations going. That bill was probably advised on by these guys, and now they have finally earned their spot as a part of the S&P 500 at a very bullish time for crypto. This is pretty darn cool. By the way, shout out to the chat. Shout out to Scott, John, the one. Shout out to B-Fire in the chat, and Daryl Young, and Chris, and Crypto Keeper, Armin, and all you guys in the chat today. Welcome, Chihuahua, throwing frogs in the chat. And double Scott action. Very beautiful. Hope you guys are doing wonderful. And Michael as well. You got the same. Oh yeah, he's got the same haircut as me. It's really the look these days. Clear's beef is back in action. We're gonna get clears beef to shave his head too. We're just gonna be some bald boys. It's gonna be great. And then there you go. Maybe if you're bald, you can have a stock that joins the S&P 500. There you go. That's the power of bald. But Cleary's Beef says, don't forget to like and subscribe to our guy. I guess I am your guy. I appreciate you, my guy. One of my guys. I got a buddy. He works at a Costco. He had a vase fall off of like one of the top shelves in the store. And one of my guys, or actually a guy in my golf league, dude had a vase fall on his arm. He was in the urgent care today. Thankfully it didn't break, but man, unbelievable. Talking about one of my guys, just almost, if that hit his head, woo, that would have been tough. That would have been tough for him. But anyway, I random story for you. Random story. Be careful, everybody. Careful. This world, you never know. So anyway, Coinbase making big moves. And I want to remind you guys, Coinbase too was one of the biggest crypto firms to come out and continuously publicly challenge the SEC. Now we have a new head of the SEC, and this new SEC chair comes out and said recently that the agency plans to create new rules for crypto tokens. Now, this is not some shocking new headline, but it is good to see the headline come out, and it is good to see, Paul Atkins come out and actually say some of this stuff publicly now that he's officially in power, now that these things are actually starting to happen. Ooh, we got to get that screen share back up in action. Now that we're actually kind of seeing him really take the stage here, a key priority of my chairmanship will be developing A key priority of my chairmanship will be to develop a rational regulatory framework for crypto asset markets that establishes clear rules and road for the issuance, custody, and trading of crypto assets while continuing to discourage bad actors from violating the law, says Atkins. He was sworn in last month, and he is coming out with very clear statements that he is going to drive crypto adoption forward under kind of under orders by the president, right? The SEC gets to do what they want to do. They're their own body, but he was picked as the SEC head from the president, and he's going to govern the SEC as he sees fit. And he seems to be in agreement with the current administration that is a pro crypto. I mean, what is this? An ad for a top? Am I getting an ad for a top made in Canada? Wow. This is unbelievable. This is a pretty cool top, guys. Look at this ad. That's very cool. Our own YouTube Brian Armstrong. That's right. That's right. That's you. That's me, I guess. I'll take it. But no, I mean, Coinbase was one of the companies that really pressed the SEC, Gary Gensler's regime, anti-crypto regime, so strongly. And it's just so good to see that as this new head comes in, we're seeing more ETFs that are going to get approved this year. Coinbase joined the S&P 500. We're looking pretty good. And you've got very big organizations, large companies that are making record revenues because of the crypto industry, right? Exodus hits a record Q1 revenue as Bitcoin holdings rise to 2,011 Bitcoins. They report 36 million in first quarter revenue, the highest Q1 in company history, increases Bitcoin holdings by 70 Bitcoin since year end. What is Exodus? A leading self-custodial Bitcoin and cryptocurrency platform, crushing it right now. The crypto players are crushing it right now. Is this really that big of a secret that crypto players are crushing it right now? Have you seen what Michael Saylor's doing? This guy just keeps buying. The biggest players out there, Robinhood, buying crypto firms. Crypto.com, like I said, buying, getting involved into Dubai, right? Becoming the official crypto partner for government payments, which is insane. So bullish for Crypto.com and their Crowcoin, I believe. You also see some very positive news happening on the globe stage. It's not just the China tariff relief. We've also got the president signing a strategic economic partnership with Saudi Arabia. So we've got more global deals coming along as things were so negative, so pessimistic for so long. Now, all of a sudden, we got a headline S&P 500 set to wipe out 2025 losses in a remarkable turnaround because the media spun the narrative to make it like tariffs are going to, doom us all. We're going to be doomed. U.S. cuts de minimis tariff as China lifts Boeing ban. Things are stepping up. You've got the S&P 500 almost back to 5,900. Things are looking pretty darn good right now. That is why you buy these dips, folks. That is why you just buy into these market when the fear is strong, and you will end up in a better position than those that are panic selling the lows, panic selling the way down. It's just a simple DCA strategy. And especially when you see fear, you buy that fear and you typically stand to gain pretty good money. Again, it is great news that we see the Fed officials coming out and basically giving us signs that we might see a Fed rate cut coming, but the odds have not shifted. In fact, the odds have shifted in the wrong direction today. Now the odds of no rate cut in July are to 65% somehow. I'm not going to be surprised to see this come down and see the odds of a rate cut by July's meeting go up. Maybe even for June, maybe we see these odds come down from 91% and we see the odds of a rate cut in June come back up. The next FOMC meeting is in 36 days. And again, I think this is going to be a big catalyst for the mega move for the crypto industry. More kidnapping attempts happening in Paris, in France. Actually, the founder of, what was it? The co-founder of Ledger, okay? A French company valued at more than $1 billion and his partner were kidnapped from their home in the central region of France. One guy lost a finger. This is crazy. That was the other story. But now there's another one that just happened. Here you go. A armed men leap out of a postal delivery van in Paris and seized a woman and her 2-year-old before the child's father fought them off. And there is a video of this, which is just crazy. The Cryptos Are Us posted, just insane. Look at this. And I think that's, just look at this. Is crazy. This is so crazy. They fought him off. They hopped in the van. They drove away. They ditched the van in the alley. Just be careful out there, guys. Especially if you invented a crypto company, because then, you are going to be at more risk than just your average crypto Joe. But even if you're just an average crypto Joe, you got to be careful. And average crypto Joes, me and you, we can make money doing some trading if we want to, but you don't need to go bragging about it to your friends. You just got to have a sound strategy and make some money and find some success. Dubproof asks a great question in the chat. What's a crypto? I don't know. I've been talking about it for years. No idea what a crypto is. Just kidding. We definitely know. It's magical internet money. That's what it is. You want to trade some magical internet money? You can do so. Signing up for Blow Fund up to a $5,000 deposit bonus. How about that? How about them apples? All right, guys. Yeah, I saw that guy in Vegas too. Isn't that crazy, my friend? Yeah, and yeah, you did see XRP flip USDC or USDT the other day, and now USDT is back on top by just a couple $1 million. Just a couple million. XRP is very strong right now. Very, very good. Yesterday's chat was wild. Yesterday's chat was wild. We got B-Fire watching from Nicaragua today. Wow. Wow, that's incredible. Shout out to you over there. Gerald says, smash the like, fellas. Bitcoin is king, but ETH Queen is looking real good right now. I agree, and that is a good sign for your altcoins, friends. You gotta like that. Altcoin season heating up. Maybe we are going into an altcoin season after all. Look at this Bitcoin dominance coming down. Forget about it. You got total market cap getting a boost. Don't forget about it. Looking pretty good. Can we keep this rally going, guys? Really, really nice little bounce off 100K there. Okay. Really nice little bounce off 100K there. New accent, yeah, it's Wade. I got a new accent. You want to fight about it? How you doing, Dexter? How you doing, Wade? Hey, we got frogs in the chat. Ribbity bibbit. Scott says, Kip, do you know that 60 million inflow to XRP made that market go up by 16 billion the other day? I did not know that, Scott. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. I mean, and that's kind of how all these coins work, right? I mean, you could put $100 into a meme coin that's got a 200K market cap, and it could go up 10%. I mean, that's not exact math, but like it's a funny thing. it's a funny thing. That's just kind of the way that these tokenomics end up working. Any thoughts on swing trading Pepe, Bonk, and Doge? Yes, those are great coins to trade. And if you want to trade, you can sign up for Blowfin. I do trade those coins. I like trading those. Right now, especially, I like to find some good long entries on some of the major memes. You got to look for support. You got to look for resistance and all that. But I think that this is great. For a while there, I was just trading like XRP Bitcoin and maybe Sol. But now that we're actually kind of getting things happening again, yeah, I'm looking at some nice runs on these memes. Still a lot more. Like Dogecoin, for example. I did a video that's coming out later today, and I talk about some key levels for Dogecoin if you want to check it out. But nice little runs. Maybe this thing boosts up to my next level and it gets a nice 42% gain. If you get a 42% gain, okay, on Dogecoin on a 10x trade, you can make a lot of money pretty quick and close the trade out and find a new trade. That's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. You got to do your own research, guys. You got to make your own trades, but it's something that I do. I'll tell you. BSS loves the quotes. BSS loves the quotes. Sugar Plum says Pepe is going to flip Shib. I agree. I agree with you. Pepe is only 87% away from its previous high, and Shiba Inu is 438% away from its previous high. Look, I think these both can take out its previous highs, but I think that Pepe is going to have a lot more upside. BSS says Pepe is doing really well for me. Pepe is doing pretty well for everybody right now. All you had to do was hang on and buy the dip, guys, and that's really all it takes. Shout out to FamOG. $2 super chat. Appreciate your $2 super chat. Not getting a lot of super chats lately because people haven't been making money, but I know they are today. That's why we got views up. That's why we got some super chats popping in. It's because you guys are the OGs and fam OGs, and you stuck around during the most difficult times. Fam says, I see a bullish flag breakout to 35 cents on the 4 hourly for Dogecoin. Let's go back over to Doge. Oh, this isn't Doge. Yeah, I mean, and I'm looking at like, 30. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at like 34 cents, call it 35 cents. But yeah, I mean, that's just simple levels of resistance. And you could find the bull flag. And sure, I see where you're coming from on that. But yeah, I mean, look at that. That's the level. That's the level. Daryl says I got stopped out at least 20 times before this pump last week for ETH. ETH is a tough one to trade. ETH is tough to trade. There's a lot of funny games that go on with ETH. Don C says, I'm starting to go from stocks back into crypto. I think a lot of people are doing that. I have some long-term bags already, but creating short-term swing trade strategies. So looking for some good ranges and start playing. Well, this is the time, Don. Absolutely. I love it. I think that, like little areas for, maybe a short there, maybe a long here. I don't, no guarantees we're going to do that. And by the way, I'm looking for more of just a general boost. We're getting into the territory where we're going to start hunting for longs more than shorts because I think we're kind of about to turn up. I think that we are kind of kissing away, as we were talking about some of these other lower levels for Bitcoin, and it might have been frustrating for you guys. I get happy because I'm finally willing to concede that maybe we're not going to come down to these levels now. We finally kind of gotten out of the woodwork. We've given the warnings of these lower levels that, we got down to 74. Okay. But we did not come down to the previous 2020 high. We did not come back down even to the March 2024 highs. 2024 highs, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Skywalker says, are you going to Bitcoin 2025? I'm not going to this one, but Black Sea will be going. If you want to meet up with him or say hi, you can catch him at the conference, I'm sure. And if you want to go yourself, we got a link in the description for you guys to sign up and get a ticket for the Vegas Bitcoin conference. Is that the one you're talking about? Do you think it's too risky to do swings? No, I think that swings are the best thing to do personally. I don't like, but I mean, well, what do you mean by swings? I don't like to stay at a trade for like a month. I don't like those like long-term trades. I like a couple days at most, or maybe I misdefined swing trades. Oh, Skywalker. Oh man, I appreciate it. Sorry, brother. You're gonna be there though. Well, if you see Black Sea, you could give it to him, and then he'll be super jealous that you got me a gift and not him. It'll be hilarious. And if Black Sea, if you're watching, boom. No, I you know what I love about this channel is, first of all, you guys, but second of all, what I love about bringing content to you guys is you get two perspectives. And I think there's going to be some people that like Black Sea more, and I think there's going to be some people that like me more, and I think there's going to be some people that like us both the same. Maybe you don't like one of us, maybe you like the other. And I think that's super cool because you got variety, right? And you have different perspectives, right? And you've probably seen that. And if you're newer to the channel, well, welcome to the Crypto Report. We have quite a dynamic for you of two different folks, two good friends with two different similar opinions, both crypto bulls that are bringing you guys daily updates. So subscribe, and we'll keep the content ripping and roaring for you. If I do give it to him, could he give it to you? Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah, no problem. If you see him, then there you go. But now you got me curious. What do you got? What do you got? I want to know. Is it like a polishing brush for my bald head, Skywalker? Is that what it is? Or is it like a lightsaber? Because your name's Skywalker. Now I want to know. This is so nice of you. Appreciate you. Nobody's ever gotten me a present from my audience before. Actually, I've never even met anybody in our audience once. So that would have been nice. Not even at those other conferences. We were down to 20,000 subscribers. Now we're at 50,000 subscribers almost. We're getting there. Maybe you got to be at like 200,000 to get recognized by people. But I'm not really that into it, to be honest with you. If I bump into you, that'll be nice. But I would hate to kind of live a life where like everybody was recognizing you or anything. I have no interest in fame. I have no interest in any of that stuff. I just love crypto and I love talking about it. And I like doing content. I like having a business, right? I mean, that's what having a YouTube channel is, a business that is really what's the point of the business is to bring news to people like me and just entertain them and educate them with not financial advice. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll do some streams this year. We'll do some more streams. Appreciate you though, guys. Shout out to FamOG. I do appreciate that super chat, FamOG. And yeah, I do agree with you. I'm looking at that playing out too for Doge, maybe. Don C says, can you pull up the Pepe chart and look at the fib? Well, I'll just pull up the Pepe. I don't want to go through the fibs right now, but yeah. Pepe's probably going to face some resistance at 17 cents. If we break through the resistance, be on the lookout for a bullish retest like that, which is exactly what we saw for XRP. Bullish retest, exactly as I told you guys. Trading can be so easy sometimes, guys. It really can. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys in this one. I'm Crypto Kip. This is the Crypto Report. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Do me a favor, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you like this type of content, we're going to keep it coming. DCA HODL. I'll see you in the next one, guys. If you want to do some trading, you can sign up for Blowfin using our link down below. Pin in the comments, pin in the chats. It's super great. It's super cool. Be careful out there. Enjoy the pump, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Deuces, mooses.